Hello everyone, get ready for a huge story about our super doctors. Have you ever heard the big important word Japa? It's a Nigerian word and it means to run away or to leave fast. It's like when you see a big storm coming and you quickly run into your house. Right now, lots and lots of our best doctors are doing this Japa. They are doing the great doctor runaway. They are leaving Nigeria to go work far away in places like America and the UK. They are our best heroes and they are saying goodbye. Why are these amazing doctors running? And what is the government doing now to say, please stop, come back. We will make things great for you. This is the story of the Japa shocker. It's about a big brave plan to make the doctors come home and maybe even make the doctors who left feel a little bit sad that they missed the change. Let's start with the big problem they are trying to fix.
The doctor crisis. Why are they leaving?
The Japa story for our doctors is a national emergency. What does that mean? It means it's a giant problem for everyone in the country. Imagine your school is the best school in the whole world, but suddenly all the best teachers, the ones who taught you how to read and how to count, all leave at once. That would be a huge crisis for all the children left behind, right?
That's exactly what is happening with our doctors. They are the super smart people who keep us healthy and fix us when we are broken. For many years, these doctors have been leaving Nigeria faster than ever before, like a fast river flowing out to sea. Why is this a big, terrible deal? Because when a doctor leaves, who is left to help the sick person? If you have a tummy ache or a broken leg and you go to the hospital, there might not be a doctor there to help you because they have all gone far away. The government has a rule, a special math rule that says there should be one doctor for every 600 people. That's the right number. But in Nigeria today, it's sometimes only one doctor for 5,000 people. Imagine one doctor trying to look after 5,000 people all by themselves. They would be so tired and you would have to wait a very long time to be seen. The doctors are leaving because they feel very strongly that the government does not care about them or the hospitals. They feel like they are working in a place that is forgotten. They look around and see, I don't get paid enough, the hospitals are broken, and I feel scared. They are looking for a place far away where their hard, life-saving work is respected and where they can feel safe.
This is why the Doctors Japa is so serious. We are losing the people who know how to save our lives. This report, this big story, is all about checking if the government's new, big promises are strong enough. Are these promises enough to make the doctors who left feel sad? Did they leave just before the good things started? We must look at the three main reasons why they ran away. And the first one is about money, or the lack of it. Problem one, no pocket money. The very first most important reason doctors run away is money. It's a huge problem, like a giant hole in their pocket that the money keeps falling out of. Imagine you are doing the hardest, most serious job in the whole world, saving a baby's life, fixing a broken heart, or mending a bone. This is a job that takes 10 years to learn. But then, you get paid only a tiny bit of money for this huge work. Think about how much a doctor in the UK or America gets paid. Our Nigerian doctors often get less than 5% of that. It's such a small, sad amount. This tiny pay makes it almost impossible for them to buy a good, safe house for their family or send their children to good schools. They can't even afford the new shoes or nice food that they deserve after working so hard.
But wait, it gets much worse. Sometimes their pay doesn't even come on time. It's supposed to arrive on the last day of the month, but it might be delayed for weeks or even months. Imagine you are a doctor who needs to buy food for your children, but the bank account is empty because your salary is stuck somewhere in a slow, sticky government office. Working for months without getting paid is extremely stressful. It shows the doctor very clearly that their incredible effort and their life-saving skills are not important to the system. There's also a special little bit of money they are supposed to get for working in dangerous conditions, like when they treat someone with a very bad sickness. It's called hazard pay. But this hazard pay is so small, it's like being given a single sweet for fighting a giant monster. It's almost a joke. The risk they take is huge, but the reward is tiny.
Because of this constant terrible money stress, doctors feel like they have to make a heartbreaking choice. They have to choose between helping their country, which they love, and taking care of their own family, which they must do. When the money runs out, the choice is clear. They have to leave and find a country where their salary is on time, big enough to be comfortable and respects the huge job they do. The low pay is the sound of the starting gun for the great runaway. This financial instability makes every other problem, like the next one about broken tools, feel 10 times worse. Problem 2, broken tools and bad hospitals. The second big problem for our superhero doctors is the hospitals where they have to work. Imagine the hospital is supposed to be a giant, powerful spaceship that helps people fly back to health. But instead, it's a broken, rusty old car with flat tires. Doctors are trained to use the best, most modern tools. They know how to fix things using high-tech machines. But when they start working here, they find that the tools are often broken, missing, or very, very old. They are like an expert carpenter who is given a rusty spoon instead of a hammer. It makes their job impossible. Think about a surgeon who needs a special machine to see exactly where the problem is inside a person's body. This machine is super important. But what if the machine is always down, always broken, or always out of battery? Or imagine the lights going off during a complicated operation. Hospitals often don't have reliable electricity. They don't have clean or running water. They don't have enough simple clean things like gloves or the right syringes. It's like trying to build a perfect Lego castle, but all the essential blocks are missing and someone keeps turning the light off while you're building. This awful situation makes the doctor's job incredibly hard and very, very dangerous for the patients. They have to guess or try to fix things with no help, which makes them feel like bad doctors, even though they are smart and trained. It's frustrating. And what if a young doctor wants to learn a special advanced skill, like learning how to fix a tiny problem in the brain or how to use a laser to treat an eye problem? They need special high-tech equipment for that training. If the equipment isn't there and the hospital is too old and dirty to learn anything new, the doctor has no choice. They have to leave Nigeria to find a place where they can grow their skills and become better at their job. The hospitals are falling apart, and that tells the doctor a very sad message. Your work environment is not important, and we don't care about your future. This physical neglect, combined with the low pay, makes the great runaway the only way out for them. Problem 3, feeling unsafe and too tired. The third big reason for the great runaway is a combination of two bad feelings, lack of safety, and extreme tiredness. This is often the final push that makes the doctors pack their bags. 1. Danger everywhere. Our doctors are heroes, but they are also targets. Why? Because people know doctors make a bit more money than other people, so doctors can be targets for bad people like kidnappers. Going to work, especially if they work in areas far from the big city, can be very scary. They worry all the time about their own safety and the safety of their family. How can you focus on saving a patient's life if you are constantly worried about a kidnapper on the road home? 2. Too much work. Because so many doctors have already left the country, the few super doctors who stay have to do the work of 10 people. This means they have to work very, very long hours. Think about working over 100 hours in just 1 week. That's like working almost every hour of the day and night. This level of work makes them tired, stressed, and totally burned out. It's hard to save lives when you are too exhausted to think straight. When a doctor is that tired, they might make a mistake, which makes the whole situation even more stressful and dangerous. 3. No backup. When things go wrong in a hospital, maybe a machine breaks or a patient dies, doctors can get yelled at, threatened, or even attacked by angry families. The system does not always protect the doctor. There is no good insurance to help them if they are sued or if they get sick themselves while treating patients. They feel alone. The mix of low pay,
broken hospitals, and now danger and exhaustion makes the job unsustainable. What does that mean? It means they cannot keep doing it without breaking down themselves. This situation is the final loudest voice that tells the doctor, you must live to be safe, healthy, and happy. It's a choice between staying and failing, or living and having a chance at a good life. This is why the government had to jump in with a very, very big plan. The big plan to fight back, NPHWM. The Nigerian government saw this huge, terrible problem of the great runaway and finally shouted, enough, we must stop this immediately. They realized they couldn't just stand there and watch all the best doctors leave. So
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is transforming Nigeria's health system through his renewed hope agenda, health sector renewal investment initiative. I think there's a possibility that Nigeria can, in fact, have an ecosystem, a medical city that provides quaternary services for Nigerians, for countries in the West African sub-regions, and also overall in the continent. Can provide services, research, training opportunities in an ecosystem that can be sustainable.
They created a very special and very big plan. The long, fancy, grown-up name for it is the National Policy on Health Workforce Migration, NPHWM. But for us, let's just call it the big plan. The most important thing about the big plan is that it doesn't try to lock the doctors in the country like a king locking people in a tower. Instead, it focuses on giving them amazing, super good reasons to stay or to come home. It's like creating a beautiful, comfortable home instead of building a prison.
The big plan has three simple, super important parts, like three columns holding up a big building.
Stop the living. Retention. This part is all about fixing the problems right now. It means making the hospitals better and making the pay much bigger and always on time, so the doctors who are thinking about leaving will decide to stay. This is the immediate fix. Bring them back. Return. This is the part that says, hey, doctors who are working far away, we miss you. We have amazing job openings for you. Come home. This part offers great gifts and makes it super easy for doctors who left to come back and start working quickly. Make it fair. Regulation. This is about talking to other big countries like the UK and Canada. The government says, please don't just take all our trained doctors at once. If you take one of our smarter doctors, maybe you should help us train 2 new ones. This part makes the whole system fair, so Nigeria doesn't lose all its people at once. This plan promises much better pay, much better working places, and a lot of exciting special gifts that we will talk about next. The government hopes this new way of thinking will fix all the old problems, the broken hospitals, and the sad salaries that caused the crisis in the first place. The government is trying to turn the great runaway into a great home run.
The special gifts, houses and loans.
This is the chapter about the giant exciting gifts in the big plan. The biggest and most exciting gift is the doctor housing scheme. This is the thing that can cause the biggest Japa shocker. Imagine how hard it is to pay rent every month. You have to save for years and years just to buy a piece of land or a small house. It's a huge headache for doctors too. But now, imagine the government steps in and says, hey doctor, you don't need to worry about renting anymore. We will help you own a brand new, beautiful house. This special scheme lets doctors and nurses buy good homes with a special bank loan. This loan is amazing because they can pay it back slowly over a very long time, maybe 20 or 30 years. That's almost your whole life. Paying back slowly means the payments are small and easy to manage. For a young doctor who just started working, this is a massive, life-changing gift. It gives them stability, a safe, good place to live for their family. It gives them a safe investment that grows in value. This is something that most people in Nigeria can only dream of. It directly solves one of the biggest money worries for a doctor. But the plan has more money gifts too. Low interest loans. This is money to help doctors who want to become entrepreneurs. They can use this money to start their own small hospitals or medical centers. This gives them control and allows them to build better facilities. Special pay for remote work. The plan promises much higher salaries for doctors who agree to work in small towns or villages where doctors are desperately needed. If you work far away, you get more money. This is smart because it helps all parts of Nigeria get good doctors.
By turning the doctors into homeowners and giving them the chance to start their own businesses, the government is trying to make the doctor's job not just a job, but a chance for a great, secure financial future right here in Nigeria. This is the big shiny magnet designed to pull the doctors back home.
New training and the Come Back Home program.
The government knows that money and houses are not the only things that matter. Doctors are smart and they want to keep learning. So, the big plan is also promising a better future for their careers through new training and special programs.
The plan says they will train many more new doctors and make the schools and hospitals where they learn much better. This means two good things. First, there will be more hands to help the existing doctors, reducing their tiredness and stress. Second, the training itself will be more modern, so Nigerian doctors will be just as good as doctors anywhere else in the world.
But the most amazing part is the return to practice program for all the doctors who left the country. The government knows that these doctors are super valuable. They went away and learned the most advanced high-tech skills while working in places like Canada and the UK. They want those skills back. The Come Back Home program makes it easy and fast for returning doctors to get their licenses back and start working quickly. They don't have to wait in long, slow lines like before.
These returning doctors will be given high-level jobs. Why? Because the government wants them to be the new teachers. They will teach the new generation of Nigerian doctors all the modern, high-tech things they learned abroad. This program is super smart because it takes the Japa problem and turns it into a Japa solution, bringing world-class expertise and global standards back home to fix our local health system. The government is also promising to buy new, modern equipment like in Chapter 3. So these returning doctors have the right tools to use their advanced skills. This is the plan to make the work exciting, safe, and professional again. Did they leave too early? The cost of waiting. Now we get to the most interesting part of the story, the idea of regret. Why would a doctor who left feel sad about their decision? It's all because of the cost of waiting. Let's meet two doctors. Dr. A left Nigeria in 2023 because the pay was terrible and the hospital was broken. She paid lots of money to travel and start a new life. That was a smart decision then. Dr. B decided to wait a little longer. He was tired, but he hoped things would change. Now it's 2025. Dr. B, who stayed, is now getting a big special house through the government's housing scheme and a much better on-time salary. He's starting to build a comfortable life. But Dr. A, who is far away, is still paying huge expensive rent in the UK, still studying for hard, expensive foreign exams, feeling lonely and missing her family. Dr. A might look at Dr. B's new house keys and realize she left just before the start of the good times. She missed the unique chance to be at the very beginning of Nigeria's healthcare revival. The stress and money she spent to leave might seem wasted when she sees her friends at home finally succeeding with government help. This is the cost of waiting. Dr. A left at the bottom and Dr. B waited until the top started to form. If the government truly keeps its promises, the timing of leaving will become the biggest regret for many doctors. They left just as their country was getting ready to hand them a special home run ball. The hard life abroad, hidden problems. When we talk about Japa, everyone only hears about the big salaries abroad. They hear about the fancy hospitals and the high-tech equipment. But life in another country is not always easy or perfect. In fact, it can be very hard and full of hidden problems. Doctors who move face many unexpected challenges. Hard tests. They can't just start working. They must spend months and lots of money studying for hard, tricky exams just to be allowed to practice medicine in the new country. These tests are very stressful and make them doubt themselves.
starting over. Even if they were the best surgeon in Nigeria, they often have to take low-level jobs or non-medical jobs for a long time. It's like going back to the first grade when you are already in university. This loss of respect is difficult, feeling alone. They miss their family, their friends, and the vibrant, loud Nigerian culture. It's often cold and quiet in the new country. They may also face racism or unfair treatment in the new hospitals because they are foreigners. The money is better, yes, but the cost of living is also very high, and the high taxes take a lot of their money. So, sometimes, after all the stress, they are not much better off than they thought they would be. If a doctor goes through all this trouble, the stress of moving, the hard tests, the loneliness, and then sees Nigeria fixing its problems, the feeling of regret will be very, very strong. The foreign reality check, the hard truth of life abroad, makes the Nigerian government's home run plan look incredibly attractive. The tipping point: will implementation beat the exodus? The big plan, NPHWM, is smart, powerful, and full of great ideas. It correctly tries to fix the root causes: the lack of money, the broken hospitals, and the stress. It's the best plan we have ever had. But the success of this plan and whether doctors truly feel the Japa shocker depends on one huge giant thing: keeping the promises. Nigeria's history has many big plans that looked good on paper but failed because the government didn't follow through. For this plan to win, the government must be extremely serious. They must make sure the new houses are actually built, are good quality, and are handed over to the doctors who apply. The better salaries are paid on time every single month without fail. The new modern equipment is bought and installed in the hospitals, and the electricity always stays on. If the government keeps its promises for the next few years, then life for doctors in Nigeria will be great again. The great runaway will definitely stop, and the doctors who left will start thinking about how to come back.
But when you see the standard of life you are having, you cannot equally comfort yourself. Yes, fine, at least I know I'm actually working, I'm giving out to society, but the society actually appreciates my effort and are paying me back.
The true measure of success for this plan will not be how many doctors it stops from leaving, but how many doctors it brings home to stay. Proving that a bright future for medicine is finally here in Nigeria, the final hope. And that's the whole giant story. The new plan gives doctors a clear, easy path to owning a home, getting a better salary, and having a good career. It's a real fight back against the great runaway. The big final question that remains for all our doctors who left is, did you leave too soon? This whole story is all about hope. Hope that our doctors will choose to stay home, build their beautiful new houses, and help make Nigeria strong and healthy again for everyone. If you want to keep up with the biggest stories happening in Nigeria, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right now. We'll see you in the next video.